We have Jimmy Lopez in the house this morning. Aren't we excited? You know, he's been traveling, but we are just so grateful that he was able to be here with us this morning. And so we've jumped into a new month already. Isn't that something? And one of the things that we are talking about today is being transparent and speaking our truth. And some of you studied that with me in Conversations with God. And sometimes that's a little bit rough, telling our truth and knowing who we can share that truth with. But I want to tell you one of the truths that I shared in the early morning service. We have a prayer of protection that is Unity's truth. And whether you know it or not, in 1969, that was taken by Buzz Aldrin to the moon. So our prayer of protection is on the moon at this point in time. And so it kind of covers us. So think about that when we say that at the end of our service. We have a fabulous service prepared for you today. And we have Ashley Wiltie. And of course, Jimmy Lopez. So we are thrilled for that. And we're going to begin by an opening prayer treatment by Reverend Dr. Shamika Cathy.
Well, good morning, Unity. Let us just turn within, arriving here right now, recognizing that there is but one presence, one power, one infinite life, one love that is expressing itself in us and through us now. And we know that this presence lives fully in each of us, revealing itself as truth, faith, wisdom, strength, and love. And knowing this truth, we recognize that our divine identity is affirmed. And so we affirm the power of faith. We know that it enables us to trust the truth of who we are. The power of wisdom guides our thoughts, our words, our choices. The power of strength gives us courage to stand firmly in our spiritual nature. The power of love opens our hearts to live in compassion, integrity, and grace. And so today we release every belief that would cause us to hide our light or deny our divine nature. We joyfully allow the Christ presence within us to be expressed in every conversation, every relationship, every act of service. And our lives are clear expressions of God's love, God's truth, and God's peace. And we give thanks for this prayer, for it is already fulfilled in divine law. And so it is.
Good morning. Singing to the world, it's time we let the Spirit come in. Let it come on in. I'm singing to the world, everybody's caught in the spin. And the spin we've been running around year after year, blinded with pride, blinded with fear. But it's daybreak, if you wanna believe it can be daybreak. No time to grieve, and it's daybreak. If you only believe, let it shine, shine, shine all around the world. Singing to the world, what's the point of putting down? There's so much love to share. Singing to the world, don't you see it all comes around? The feelings everywhere, we've been closing our eyes day after day, covered in clouds, losing our way. But it's daybreak, if you wanna believe it can be daybreak. No time to grieve, it can be daybreak. If you'll only believe, let it shine, shine, shine all around the world. 'Cause it's daybreak, if you wanna believe it can be daybreak. No time to grieve, yes it's daybreak. If you only believe, let it shine, shine, shine all around the world. Let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you, Ashley. That was just lovely. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone in the room and online. I am Stacy Fisher, one of your trustees, here with your announcements this morning. This is the first Sunday of August, so you know what that means. It's time to sing happy birthday. Will everyone that has an August birthday please stand so that we can celebrate you? Wonderful. In the bulletin, please see Frank Grant made an announcement last week about forming the Finance Committee. There's information in your bulletin along with his email address so that you can contact him. If you love numbers and you love spreadsheets, then this might be a way to demonstrate your servant leadership on the Finance Committee. So please talk to Frank for more information. Now, next Sunday, August 9th, will be very special. We will have Ann Sims, When God Gives You Roses. She has composed and performed inspirational songs since 2005 when she's toured to 8 countries in Europe with best-selling author of Conversations with God, Neil Donald Walsh. The tour led to personal training with Walsh, and she now serves on the board of the Conversations with God Foundation as author instructor of the Conversations with God online school. She's also a life coach in Walsh's spiritual mentoring programs and works with private clients worldwide. So it will be wonderful to have her here, and she was here a couple months ago singing, so it'll be just a delight to experience her message next Sunday. Immediately following today's service, there is a new member class that will be facilitated by Reverend Denise, and that is going to be held in, we're going to do meditation room. I knew it was a change. We changed it from the classroom to the meditation room over here that we're currently using. So thank you, and please join that class to find out more about Unity of Nashville. Next, we have a new course that will begin this Wednesday night at 6:30. It's offered both in person and via Zoom. Lisa Firestone and Reverend Denise will be leading the language of life. And this is a wonderful communications course that really grounds you in authenticity and how to, kind of have a common framework in speaking truth and being able to resolve difficult having difficult conversations and resolving conflict and bringing back that care for one another. So I highly recommend that, and I'm going to be there. I'm also going to attend Paul Meyer's class that he is doing, which will be on Thursday evenings beginning this Thursday. And Paul is part of our new education ministry, and this class will be offered on Zoom only, and that begins at 7. Will run from 7 to 8 on Thursdays, again, beginning this Thursday, August 6th. And there are, I think, still copies of the book in the bookstore for purchase, and that is Escape from Eden. And it is recommended that you see Steven Spielberg's new film, Disclosure Day, before attending the class, but not required. And we have lost someone very special this past year, and we want to celebrate the vibrant life of Robin Gordon. And please bring your memories, stories that you might want to share on Saturday, August 10th at 10 a.m. We will be holding August 8th. I'm sorry, I'm looking at 10 a.m. Pardon me. August 8th at 10 a.m. And we will celebrate her life, share stories, and that will be followed by a lovely luncheon hosted by Monell's. Fridays, we are still holding meditation, and it's a wonderful group. As I mentioned, every Sunday, I get so much value out of that community, and I invite you to join us if you are able. That is on Fridays over here in the meditation room at 10 a.m., and we're in there raising the frequency, raising the roof, raising everything. So you come join us, and you will be lifted, your spirit will be lifted, and it's a wonderful energy. Also, I want to mention again our very own Haley Ebanks, who runs our PowerPoint. You can see her at the back at the sound booth for more information, but she is raising money for a musical that she has written and produced called The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals. And she is collecting donations to help her fund the project, and she has a GoFundMe page, and there's also a link to the tickets, and the show is on August 4th. That's coming up this week. I know a group of us are going to be there, so please see Haley for more information and support her in this creative endeavor. And I want to recognize Lee Smith, who is a wonderful friend, and this is maybe not our last Sunday before Lee moves to Georgia to start her business. She's a wonderful baker, just extraordinary, and some of us have been able to partake in her lovely cakes and baked goods, and it has been a joy to get to know you and to have you here in our community, and you are always, this will always be a home base for you to come to, but you're moving to, I guess, my home state, Georgia, and we wish you well in your pursuit of being an entrepreneur and pursuing your bakery dreams. So I invite you to definitely get to love on Lee in our meet and greet. And now it's time to get up and say good morning to our neighbors, and just let them know you celebrate them and you meet them at their highest potential. So please get up and get some love on.
I'll play louder. Hey man, what's up? You singing?
I'm so glad y'all are here.
Let's do it. Let's do it together. She's laughing.
Let's do it one more time. How's that? Ready?
Oh, nah, that was bad.
Oh, well.
One,
Again.
2, 3, go.
There we go.
I am one, simple and plain, no superpower, no famous name, but I stand tall, 'cause I believe something's greater has come alive in me. I have felt the Spirit stirring in my soul, deep in takes my breath away when it occurs to me. In a world where so many feel lost, I know God. I am one, but not alone. When I'm with you, I am whole. Side by side, we find the truth. When the spirit in me finds the same in you, I have felt the fire burning in my soul. Deep in my soul, I will give love, I will speak peace, all because of the love that's got a hold of me. So wide open, so amazing, it takes my breath away when it occurs to me. In a world where so many feel lost, I know God. I will give love, I will speak peace, all because of the love that's got a hold of me. So wide open, so amazing, it takes my breath away when it occurs to me. In a world where so many feel lost, in a world where so many feel lost, in a world where so many feel lost, I know God. I know God.
My goodness. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Marcia Lewis, one of your chaplains, and it's my honor to bring you the sacred reading this morning. Barbara Marx Hubbard writes, "Everything that rises, converges, and connects becomes synergistic and co-creative." And according to Teilhard de Chardin, in order to rise into Omega, we must converge and connect. And this convergence is not based upon external factors, but that which is deepest in us all. That which connects us at depth, Teilhard called radial energy, or more simply, love. We bond to evolve. Life mandates that we evolve or perish. And in bonding with the intention to evolve consciously, we unite so that we may become more than we have been. In bonding as an evolutionary community, we vow to live mindfully and to love one another. And the term love used here is that which unites us center to center. We must unite at depth in spite of our differences, and this becomes the womb for birthing a greater reality latent within each of us. As a conscious evolutionary, you're stepping into a new dimension of your life. The universe is now consciously evolving through you. The divine pattern within your soul is being activated through your heart's deepest desire. Pregnant with the potential of a greater reality, you're about to make a quantum leap in fulfilling your purpose in this life, which is to become a fully conscious expression of the one presence. And so it is.
So if you will join me in singing our meditation song, we have a new one for August. So just breathing first. And yes, we remember that God is in us, but we're also in all that is God. And as we come into these physical bodies, we are the expression of God in physical form. And the Spirit of God, the universe, the beloved, is active in each of us and flowing through our body, flowing through our minds, and flowing through our hearts. So in this now moment, just take a moment to drop those 18 hinges from your head to your heart. Just allow your breath to flow through your heart space in the silence, in the silence. Living, loving Spirit, we have spent a moment of our time together, remembering that it's all you. Remembering that we are actually in the essence of God, and that we are the very expressions of the divine. I am in God. God is in me. My life is God expressing. I am in God. God is in me. All that I am flows to and from God. So I will say again this morning, those of you that have been in the class, Conversations with God, it was a pretty big endeavor for us to dive into all of that material. Because the companion book that we've been using actually is the book that Annie is excited that we have been through, because she uses that material also and helped Neil put that together. And that's from the first 3 books that he wrote. And it was impossible for us to spend Wednesday night and totally get all of the chapters that were in that companion book. So what I've been doing sometimes on Sunday morning is taking a chapter that we didn't follow deeply on Wednesday night and go into. Now, some of you remember that we did talk about truth and telling the truth. And Neil thinks there's 4 different levels of truth-telling. I'm going to talk about 2 of them this morning. The first one is telling yourself the truth. And what I'm going to tell you is that's the hardest. If you want to be transparent, if you want to be authentic, you've got to tell yourself the truth of who you are. Why do we not do that? Because we don't want to look at it. Because if I really look at the truth of who I am, and I did that at one point in time, sitting on the back row here in this church years ago, I realized that I was not who I came here to be. That some of my life choices had taken me down paths that I didn't even like. And so the truth in me is I had to change something. Lee, I think you've gone through that here with us. Is that the truth about you, and you're going to move somewhere where you can live the truth that is you in a very different way. We don't like change, do we? Not so much. The next truth-telling is telling your truth to another. That's even harder. Because are they going to accept what I need to say? Right? Neil talks about transparency being a lifestyle. That you buy into this place of being transparent and truthful, and it's just the way you live your life until you don't, right? So what is transparency? Neil says this about it first, and I love this definition. The physical quality of letting light pass through. The physical quality of allowing the light that is the universal divine light pass through you so that you can shine. We say we do that until we don't, right? He also says that transparency is the practice of being open, honest, and clear about our choices and our actions. I still feel people not breathing this morning, and I knew that would happen with this lesson. It's because sometimes if I need to share my choice, sometimes I'm a little afraid. Right? Because what if The person I'm sharing it with goes, well, you can't do that. No, you don't need to do that. When I first heard Lee was moving, I was like, no, we love you here. But then when I heard why she was moving, it made so much sense, right? Because we're attached as human beings for things to stay the same, right? This is what we say about ourselves here. We're bringing light to the world. So it's important if we say we're going to bring light to the world to allow that light to flow through us, right? Correct? You saw this last week. In the darkness, the strongest souls don't search for light. What do? They become it. That's what we're saying. We're doing it here. We're doing this. We are becoming more and more light beings. We're allowing that light to flow through us. And what would that look like? So I'm going to remind you of our mission statement. As I was working with Women of Unity yesterday, because we're going through a rebirthing process of the Women of Unity that are meeting once a month right now. And we have people, just like we did when we worked on vision, mission, and values within our congregation, that want it to happen today. Let's come up with one and let's be done. Do you know it took us almost a year and a half to come up with what's on the wall in the fellowship hall? It takes as long as it takes. Our mission here is we bring light to the world by knowing first, nurturing what? And practicing that light. Our own divinity and community. That light is our divinity. So that's who we say we are, and that's what we say our mission is, right? So how do we do that? I actually said this to a few people yesterday. Being comes before doing. We as human beings want to be out there doing something. We have to know what we're going to be before we can do. Anybody ever went out there and did before they knew what they were being and they made a mess, other than me? Yes. We have to know what we are being, who we are being, before we go out there and start doing. Look. So you see a DNA thread. This is also some information from Neil, but it's not in the companion book. This is extra. You don't have to pay extra for this morning. How's that? But he says the way to do this is to focus on two things. Oneness, being one with everybody. I'll say that again. Being one with everybody. And remember, sometimes we have a hard time with that in here. What happens when we go out there? My place is Walmart. You all can practice wherever you want to practice, but it's like, can I be one with everybody in there? Sometimes. Sometimes not. As I've said before, the person you flipped off on the interstate a few days ago that tried to pull in front of you, are you one with that person? And then Neil says, once you understand your oneness, then you have to become visible, not invisible. I had a woman in my office recently, and she told me, I love your church, but I need to go to some place that's huge, like 1,500 members, so I'm invisible. I went, that's interesting. And I understand that. I understand that the first Sunday that I ever came here and sat on the back row, I wanted to be invisible. Some of you are shaking your heads because the first Sunday you came in here, you wanted maybe to be invisible. Let me just see what this is like. But to be authentic, to be transparent, we have to become visible. So, our first question: which of these is the biggest challenge? Remembering you're one with other people, or becoming visible? You find somebody that you want to talk to and share. So begin to pull yourself back together. You know, this is a bigger issue than you may understand. When we were preparing for our Peace Festival that we had here, believe it or not, there were some organizations that we invited here to have booths, and they said, oh, this is about peace. We're not sure we can be a part of that. And of course, I know, and I'm like, huh? Well, we don't know what that means. Huh? Stacy and I have had some long conversations about that. It's like, how do you explain that to people? And we're not sure politically if that will be okay if we say we're for peace. Do we realize what all's going on out there and why we're studying what we're studying here? Because, as Stacy said earlier, we have a group of anywhere between 25 and 30 people that are here on Fridays to hold the vibration of peace together, to hold our willingness to understand what that's all about, to be the presence of peace. And obviously it's working on some level because people come in here sometimes that don't know us. On mine and Judy's anniversary, I had a little guy bring flowers and come into the house and holler and go, is there a Reverend Denise in here? And I said, I'm down here. And he started coming down. He said, what do you all do here? He said, it feels so peaceful here. What do you do here? He said, the minute I drove up into this property, I went, whoa, what do they do here? It's working. Can you understand that? So, the traits of a transparent life. Neil actually says the first one is being visible. So until you want to be visible, you can't really be transparent. And then there's graduations of visibility. You can be visible and sit in here on Sunday morning, but you may not know anybody else. Visibility means that when it's time to talk, you're talking to somebody. And if you don't want to talk to somebody, that's okay. I've told you to talk to yourself. That's a good person to talk to. But at some point in time, if people want to become a part of what we're doing here, visibility is that we have conversations. And we get to know each other on some different kind of a level. It also means that you have some empathy. Because as we begin to share with each other, just as we found yesterday in Women of Unity, sometimes people share things that are difficult for them, that they're going through. And we have to be able to empathize with that and not try to fix it. Any fixers out here? Just listen and empathize with that person and be vulnerable. And when I say the word vulnerable, I know some of you just went, oh, where am I willing to be vulnerable? And where am I not willing to be vulnerable? And that's where I'm willing to be transparent and not transparent. And some days I might be very transparent in certain situations, and in other situations I might not be so much. Depends on where I am and who I'm talking to and what I'm sharing. But staying in integrity with me is the most important thing. If I'm in a situation where I'm thinking it may not be 100% safe for me to say everything about myself, because what I know is when somebody says, "What do you do?" I'm a minister, and then they go, "Oh, Lord," and run off. It's like, I'm not going to get you or bite you or do anything. You know, I said when I get on an airplane, I generally want to say I'm a pole dancer and maybe they will be okay. It's like, but when I say I'm a minister, then they don't know what to do with themselves because they have a preconceived idea about what that means. And so can you really be visible with who you are in this world and what you're showing up as? So I want you to look at this. And we will do some work with this as a community in the future. But this tells us what a beloved community is all about, which is kind of the paradigm that I've been working on for the last 2 years here, and what it means to be transparent. And if you look at the bottom left corner, that's what we spent about 1.5 years doing, preparing our hearts to be healed. Some of you remember that there was some chaos going on here when I came in. And so we had to prepare our hearts, and we had healing circles. We had all kinds of events. Some people came, some people went, "No, I can't do that." It's like some people came and did their healing individually with me in my office. But we went through a period of that. And then if you go up, it says something about governance. We've had Martha Creek in here 2 times a year to meet with the board, to meet with our leadership, to say, here are the things that you need to focus on as you're working on this organization. Because what we really did is we tore it apart and put it back together. You may not realize that if you were sitting out there and not a part of some of what some of us have been through, but that's what we did, and put it back together in a way that was more sustainable for us. Does that make sense? And then we move over to the next level, which is just about what we're doing right now. We're hearing each other, we're in community, we're learning about each other. We have many different ministries here. You may have heard the word small groups, and a lot of people think small groups is about having classes and them all being at different people's houses. Small groups is men of unity, women of unity, the choir, prayer chaplains. There are many small groups, the bookstore, which all kinds of exciting things are getting ready to happen with all of that, but it's a secret right now. Vic, right? Yes, shh, don't tell everybody. And so then we move down to the bottom, which is about we end up with a community that really can be transparent with each other, that really accepts everybody for who they are and what they bring to the table. That's what transparency as a lifestyle is about. So, I have two people that are going to come up and share a few things with you this morning. Because as we start talking about that, and I feel it from you all. Remember, I'm an energy person. I feel people's energy, and I feel people going, "Burr." If she thinks I'm going to tell somebody what's going on inside of me, she is full of something this morning, right? Yep, right. It's all okay. It is all okay. We have special people here that help in some of that. So the first person that's going to come up here and talk to you is, I've said my right arm, my left arm, and both of my legs. Marcia, Reverend Dr. Marcia Lewis. And she is going to talk to us about pastoral care and how that ministry, it's here to help us become more transparent. Marcia.
Good morning. This has been a journey. And Reverend Denise has been a midwife to that also. Pastoral care ministry is a big umbrella that incorporates community care, which some of you are part of that and you don't even know it. If you go to see someone in the nursing home or the hospital or send them a card, you're in pastoral ministry, and I so appreciate that. And it also involves the healing arts, which we have magnificent practitioners in this church and who know magnificent practitioners all around. So that is part of it too. But today I want to really focus on our prayer chaplains and our practitioners who are available to you every Sunday. They're available to you through the week. You get emails every month sharing some deep insights. And if you're not getting those, let me know, because you're not on the list that you want to receive them, okay? And they are available to you by email or text if you need us. If you don't need us, just reach out to have a warm conversation. Every Sunday, this is who we are. Pick one of us. If you want to have some kind of a heart-to-heart connection, because that's where it starts, right here. And we as chaplains and practitioners, we practice that. We practice dropping to that center where we know Source connects with us. And when we're there, we can connect with you because we know it's there, because we know we're one. And we want to experience that, not just hear. We want to experience it. In your bulletin, I inserted a Wednesday noon prayer insert. That's another time that you can join us on Zoom for a contemplative time in the middle of your week, 25, 30 minutes, no big deal. Take your lunch hour. Spend some time with us and have a recharge. Have a connection with all of us who are on there. Learn, we have prayer for those who have requested it, and we read those names and affirm that connection with us then too. So pastoral care ministry is a umbrella. What do umbrellas do? Okay. Reach out. We're here. We love you. Thank you.
So we have an individual who is already an ordained minister, but decided to go back and take a class in spiritual direction. Now, there are some of you that probably came from a type of ministry in the past that had people that did spiritual direction, but Unity had never had this before. And so I want Reverend Dr. Shamika Cathy, who is now fully licensed in spiritual direction, to come tell you about that and what she can offer you.
Well, thank you, Reverend Denise, for pushing me into visibility this morning. Well, good morning again. And I, simply want to just share what spiritual direction is. We already have so many modalities here at Unity of Nashville, from the prayer chaplains to meditation to spiritual counseling that you offer. But just want to add another tool, which is spiritual direction. And I'll start by explaining spiritual direction by asking a rhetorical question. And so the question is, how is your soul? That's not a question we get often, if we've ever gotten that question. It's not, how are you doing? How are things at Unity? How are the kids? We're already kind of primed with those responses. But when you ask someone, how is their soul? How is your soul? It prompts you to pause, to reach deeper, to listen deeper. You have to really begin to explore the inner terrains of your spiritual life. And so that's really what spiritual direction is in a nutshell. Essentially, it's really about encouraging you, to listen deeper. It is a safe container. It's a confidential conversation where you can ask those greater questions of yourself, to attune to the wisdom, the guidance that's already there. And what I love about Unity is that we already acknowledge that presence and power that's already active in our lives. But this is really just a time to set time aside, to quiet the noise, to be intentional about seeking that guidance in your life. And so that spiritual direction, there's so much more to what spiritual direction is, and so I don't want to take up a lot of time. But I'll just leave you with another question, because it is about asking questions. It's not about fixing. It's not about telling you what to do. It's not therapy. It's not life coaching. It's about you knowing what Spirit is already speaking and coming attuned to what's already in your heart. So that question I'll leave with you today is, what might Spirit be inviting you to today? What might Spirit be inviting you to grow in? What might Spirit be inviting you to listen a little deeper to? Thank you.
Thank you. And I know some of you are probably going, how do you get in touch with Shamika? We will have an insert next week about her and what she does and ways to get in touch with her if you want to sit with her and answer those questions. How's your soul? And what is Spirit calling you to? So, why are we here? We are a spiritual community. And we're doing what? We're remembering. And that is really all that I do in spiritual counseling. It's all that the chaplains do. It's what you heard Shamika does. Help people remember their divinity, Remember their connection. The new earth, which I will give you a hint, is something we're going to study next year. It's an Eckhart Tolle book called The New Earth, because I think we're ready for that. We had to do all this other work to get to that. The new earth will stop asking who will lead us. I know some of you look to me to lead you, but I do my best leading in the rear, not in the front. I do my best leading, helping people get into what is theirs to do and reminding them of who they are. And so the new earth is a place that we'll start asking, what can we build together? Instead of any other question that we might ask as a spiritual community, what can we do together? So there's a story I want to tell you very quickly, just a little bit about the story. There's a musical that came out in 1972 called Pippin. And it was a story about a young guy who was the son of Constantinople, somebody that was very important, king. And in his life, he was trying to decide who he was and why he was there. And the story kind of takes him through many different kinds of situations. And at some point in time in this story, he sings a very poignant song that we're going to have sung this morning. Because we all have to find our corner of the sky, what is ours to do, what is Spirit calling you to do and to be today. Namaste.
Everything has its season, everything has its rhyme. Show me a reason and I'll show you a rhyme. Cats fit on a windowsill, children fit in the snow. Why do I feel I don't fit anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. Every man has his daydreams, every man has his goals. People like the way dreams have of sticking to the soul. Thunderclouds have their lightning, nightingales have their song. And don't you see I want my life to be something more than long. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. So many men seem destined to settle for something small, but I won't rest until I know I have it all. So don't ask me where I'm going, just listen when I'm gone. And far away you'll hear me singing softly to the dawn. Rivers belong, they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashley. That was just lovely. So now it's time to give back to this place that we have been blessed. If you have your tithes and offerings, hold them in your hand. If you don't, when the basket comes by, many of you give online, put your energy in that as it comes by. But say our offering blessing with me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And so as our ushers come down to take our offering, we're going to be singing our gratitude song. I give my hands in service. I open my heart to love. For when I count my blessings, they outnumber the stars above. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. You are with me, come what may. And in gratitude, I give to you the best of me today. The best of me today. So we open our hands and our hearts and our minds to receive this good. We know that it has been given from that place of love, and it was receiving today into this place of divine love here in Unity of Nashville, and it will move through this ministry and back into the world to bless those who receive. We know that as we give, so shall we receive, and those blessings will be heaped up, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, for that's the law, and so it is. Amen. So if you will stand and sing the peace song and pray out with us.
Shortly.
Yes. Y'all have fun.